Story 1. My husband can't whistle. He always tries, but he just can't get it. One day while out hiking with our dogs, the dogs went too far ahead, so my husband tried to whistle for them. The first few attempts, nothing happened, so I whistled for them. Apparently, my husband was trying to whistle at the same time, and he heard my whistle and thought it was him. He was so proud, just grinning from ear to ear. I didn't have the heart to tell him it was me, and I still don't. It was so cute to see how happy he was. Comment 1. That's wholesome, and I love that. But the poor guy is now stuck in a quandary, trying to figure out how to repeat the only whistle of his life. Comment 2. I'm weeping for him as a fellow non-whistler. In the game Final Fantasy X, one character teaches another to whistle via the fingers. Like, stop mocking me. Comment 3. I cannot whistle. Cannot, for the life of me, figure it out. Having done it once and never again would drive me even more nuts. Comment 4. Could end up with a Peppa Pig moment. Story 2. Probably how many snacks I really sneak at midnight. Comment 1. If we are not meant to have midnight snacks, then why is there a light in the fridge? Comment 2. Trust me, we know. I don't care though, he can eat what he wants. Comment 3. I live alone and I lie to myself about it. Wake up at 2, might as well eat a sandwich and a bag of candy. Then in the morning, I act all shocked like, who ate all the sandwich meat and candy? Comment 4. If your partner ever takes out the trash, they know. This is how I discovered nearly every secret thing the wife and kids ever did. They never hid the evidence. Story 3. I've always known he takes Viagra. I think he would say his biggest secret is that he takes Viagra. Comment 1. As a 58-year-old divorced man who is dating again, one of the nicest things my girlfriend did for me was to let me know that she was aware I used Cialis and made sure to let me know it was okay. I don't know your boyfriend's situation, obviously, but it may save him some anxiety to let him know you are aware and that you are fine with it. Comment 2. Read the text below and correct the spelling errors. Search for and replace all acronyms. Correct the punctuation, remove special characters and links to best suit Azure Text to Speak AI. Here's the text. Well, ask him his second biggest secret then. Although, if he says his second biggest secret is taking Viagra, the curiosity would eat you alive. Comment 3. How did you figure it out? And congratulations on your success. Comment 4. My husband received a pill from a friend while we were on a mini vacation. He thought it would be fun to try. That pill is wild. My vagina hurt for a week. Story 4. As someone who absolutely hated dancing and always declined invitations to go dancing, I've learned the basic steps of bachata, which is her favorite dance. I'm not sure how long I'll keep it as a secret. I'm just waiting for the right moment to reveal this surprise. Comment 1. I've always had a problem with dancing, but my partner loves it. I booked a course of 6 lessons for us to share. She was immediately moved to a higher group, and I was stuck with a constantly rotating selection of older women complaining about my poor dancing skills. Comment 2. However you do it is fine. Just ignore anybody who tells you to do it with somebody else in front of her. She should get to experience it for the first time. Comment 3. Honestly, you shouldn't even wait, my friend. One morning when you guys are doing chores, if she's the type of lady that puts on music while she cleans, pop around, grab her by the waist and make some moves. You've learned the basic steps, but if you don't use them, you will forget. Comment 4. My wife and I did a lot of salsa, bachata, and merengue for our first dates. We are getting back into it now after a hip and spine injury, and we are enjoying it again. It's really nice when you learn to move together. For our wedding first dance, we hadn't been able to practice anything, but I could tell it was a 4-count beat on Fly Me to the Moon. So as we walked up, I just asked her to follow in a bachata pattern, and people thought we had choreographed it instead of making it up on the fly. Haha. Story 5. I beat my wife in every video game. I purposefully lose at Pew Pew Tetris because she likes it, and it's the only way for me to enjoy her company while playing. Comment 1. Insane way to start a response. Comment 2. It's the only way for me to enjoy her company while playing. Haha, this comment is more savage than any video game beating. Story 6. Summary. I lied and replaced a card in a Magic the Gathering booster so my girlfriend could finally find an expensive, rare card. We both recently started playing Magic the Gathering. For me, it was a return after 25 years of not playing, and she was new. We were looking for a hobby to enjoy together to help us get our minds off of the devastating 2 years we had just endured. It was 2 years of cancer diagnosis, heartbreaking surgeries and doctor visits, losing her 2 dogs, who were like her children, all while she was trying to finish the last year of her PhD in cancer research. The cataloging, sorting, playing, trading, and collecting seemed to put her in a peaceful place where she could turn her thoughts to something else and just heal. She even played in her first tournament at Gen Con. She jumped in with both feet, and opening booster packs and finding valuable cards seemed to light her up in a way I hadn't seen since we started our battle with cancer. However, she never seemed to have the luck I did in finding chase rares, and with the latest set featuring small, cute animals, she wanted all of them. So, I ordered a bundle of collector boosters and the very expensive foil rabbit card she was looking for, cut open a booster, slid it in, and resealed it well enough so she wouldn't notice. Seeing her open that pack, hearing her voice shake in concert with her hands, and watching her initial panic that she might damage the card transform into pure joy was incredible. I feel a twinge of guilt about it, but I'll keep the secret for the rest of my life. She thinks she got incredibly lucky finding a rare card. It's a small gesture, but it meant the world to her. Comment 1. You are such an amazing partner. That was a beautiful read. Comment 2. I don't really understand this beyond the fact that you are a top guy. Comment 3. This is one of the sweetest, most thoughtful posts I have ever seen on Reddit. Comment 4. Can I just say, as one half of a couple who got into Magic the Gathering over the pandemic, this is genuinely one of the absolute sweetest things I have ever read in my life. There is no magic like opening a rare card, let alone the one you've been wanting. We haven't got around to getting any Bloomburrow yet, we just had a baby, but it looks like such a cool set. Enjoy! Story 7. When he proposes to me, I have an engagement watch for him. My dad gave it to me a few months into dating him and said that I could do what I want with it. It has been 5 years, and all I need is a nice box and ribbon. Edit. Thanks for the activity. I am super overwhelmed by the responses. The watch is a Breitling Aerospace. My dad and his dad collected watches, so we would often inherit ones. They collected them when luxury brands were more affordable. The timing was not due to me starting to date my boyfriend, just that my dad flew over to get a few older ones serviced as we grew up overseas. He just wanted to bring a gift. Comment 1. Probably one of those fancy calculator watches all the bigwigs have these days. Comment 2. That's a wonderful idea. Quick question. How do you know when he will propose? Or is it kind of planned, or would you just give it to him afterward? Because you're giving me ideas. Comment 3. My wife did this for me, the greatest material gift I've ever received. He will absolutely love it, and you for doing it. Comment 4. Will your first argument after getting engaged be because he doesn't wear it enough? Haha, ours would have been. Story 8. I have a box of little crochet critters in the garage that I make when I am bored or in between clients. I let my fiancée know that if anyone at work would like one. She is a hospice nurse. She can just take them from the box, no questions asked. That is what I told her. Anyway, the secret is that I purposefully make stuff for her to take. I even have a little spreadsheet so I know what animals and colors are the most popular, and make sure that there is always spares. Obviously, I do not know who they go to because of confidentiality, but I try to get as big a range as I can. Comment 1. My child was often in the emergency room as a child. Though it was never serious, we were simply cautious, and they received a couple of stuffed teddy bears. When my father fell and was in the emergency room, my son went and found a teddy bear to help my father feel better. When my father passed away, he still had that teddy bear. Now, my teenage son keeps it. Good for you, and thank you for what you do. Comment 2. Oh, this is lovely. You were so thoughtful. Comment 3. When my 1-week-old baby was in the hospital for respiratory syncytial virus, We received a knitted beanie for him, and it just warmed my broken heart so much. Thank you. Comment 4. The spreadsheet really puts this into the stratosphere. Story 9. We have been together for 5 years. We met at a football game. Our biggest thing in common is our love for our team. Every Sunday for years, we get together to watch the games with her family. I am not really into football. I was at the game we met at because someone bought tickets and I was off, so sure. I have never really understood it, so for years, anytime the family cheers, I just follow with cheers, and when they boo, I do the same. Comment 1. Did you see that ludicrous display last night? Comment 2. I always knew my girlfriend wasn't a huge football fan, but she'd sit with me when I watched games. When something exciting happened, she'd be playing Animal Crossing or something, and I'd tell her she should watch the replay and I'd explain the context. Sometimes weird stuff would happen and I'd spend way too much time explaining to her what makes this specific thing unusual and why it's interesting. This went on for about 6 or 7 years. Then one day she asked, "What is a down?" Like, fourth down? What does that mean? After probably hundreds of rambling explanations, I realized she just likes seeing me happy and likes hearing me talk about stuff that makes me happy. She wasn't actually hearing anything I was saying. After that, I explained the actual game of football to her. Now, after a few years of her asking questions and learning, she is actually excited to watch games together and she understands why I get excited. Comment 3. Your significant other said, "I've been pretending to be a fan too." Comment 4. My wife's family is big into sports, and they all know I have no interest in it. So I always cheer or boo a half second or so after them. It's hilarious. Story 10. It's not really a secret anymore because I cracked up the last time I saw him do it, but when he used to make me Impossible burgers, he would use a meat thermometer to make sure that it was safe to eat like a normal burger. It was so sweet that I didn't want to tell him I could probably eat them raw if I wanted. They were also like chewing a brick. I love that man. Comment 1. I didn't want to tell him I could probably eat them raw if I wanted. You should have broken it to him by eating some completely raw in front of him. It would be worth it for the horrified reaction you would get. Comment 2. The instructions for the Impossible and Beyond burger suggest cooking them to 160 degrees. Comment 3. For the record, most alternative burgers actually do mandate treating them like ground beef when it comes to temperature and food safety issues. Comment 4. I only eat those kinds of burgers, and I always use a thermometer because the instructions tell you to get them to 160 degrees. He's probably just doing what I and likely a lot of others are doing, following the directions. Mine aren't like a brick, though, so I'm not sure what's up with that. Story 11. I don't think his youngest son is his. The story about how this child came to be is very shady, between having his vasectomy reversal and how low he said his count is, combined with the fact that he caught the boy's mom cheating during the time they were trying, and how fast she came back with the paternity results. It all feels very wrong. 13 years later, when we are talking about his youngest, he always brings up how similar they look. I just agree. This kid looks nothing like him or his other 2 kids. My boyfriend is 5 feet 7 inches, has blue eyes, black hair, and a lean build. The youngest is already over 6 feet tall, has brown eyes, brown hair, and is kind of chubby. His mom is very slim, has blue eyes and blonde hair. He wanted to get them all a DNA ancestry test for Christmas. I talked him out of it. I think it would ruin Christmas for him if it came out. Comment 1. It sounds like he suspects it too, what with the constant comments trying to reassure himself they look alike and the DNA test. I think it's kind of you to try to delay him knowing for sure. It's also very possible the kid is his and just takes after a grandparent or something. Comment 2. Why would he want to get them all 23 and me unless he suspected? Paying for 3, but wouldn't they all presumably be the same? Comment 3. Barring a freak accident of incomplete gene expression, it is nearly impossible for 2 blue-eyed people to produce a brown-eyed child. Comment 4. The kid's mom and your boyfriend both have blue eyes, but the kid has brown eyes? That is not his biological child. It is not impossible for 2 blue-eyed people to have a brown-eyed offspring, but it is vanishingly rare. Considering all the other things you mentioned that don't add up, it is far more likely that the child's biological father is someone else. Story 12. I don't like his family. I'm kind of scared of them. Comment 1. I have always taken the tack of keeping my family at arm's length, and this shocked my wife because her family was close. It turns out close means her sister only used her for free babysitting, and her father spent every conversation berating her about anything he could think of. Now, we give our respective families the Heisman as a team, and it's awesome. Her mom is great, though. No Heisman for her. Comment 2. Hope they are not called Lannister or Bauer. Comment 3. Please read the text below and correct spelling errors. Also, replace all acronyms. Correct punctuation, remove special characters, and links to best suit Azure text-to-speech AI. No yapin. Text. I would love for you to elaborate. How come? That sucks. Does he have a sister that's cool at least? Story 13. I want to marry him much sooner than I thought, but also as an immigrant, I worry if bringing that up will raise any eyebrows and cause him or his family and friends to think that I want to do this to get permanent residence quickly. So, I've been working extra hard to qualify for it on my own. Comment 1. That is cute and sad at the same time. Wishing you all the best. That your partner sees your love and isn't blinded by prejudice. Comment 2. Best of luck with that mountain of administrative pain, and I hope you can get married soon too. Comment 3. My husband thought the same as you. My family loved him from day one. My friends worried I might be taken advantage of. Our love, our relationship proved to them he was well worth it. I never had any doubt and wanted him to have citizenship so neither of us had to worry because when you know. Comment 4. I've had friends joke that my husband married me for the green card. That didn't stop us. Getting a green card otherwise takes way too long. Don't live your life in fear of what others think. They can all forget about themselves. Story 14. She farts in her sleep loudly. Comment 1. I farted and my husband started laughing like a child, waking me up. He then told me why he was laughing. I was tired and now irritated that I had been woken up. I looked at him and said, "You woke me up over this?" It didn't register what I had said until he went into a howling fit of laughter and fell off the bed. 19 years later, he tells people that my first fart knocked him out of bed. Comment 2. My wife refuses to even consider farting in front of me. When she does it in her sleep, it is like spending the night camped at Chernobyl. Comment 3. I hear the snacks that you eat when you are farting in your sleep. Comment 4. My husband does too, and it makes me giggle since I have insomnia, and it breaks the quiet. One time, he was tossing and turning for half an hour in his sleep and just couldn't get comfortable. Then, while still asleep, he lifted his leg and let out the loudest and longest fart I've ever heard in our 15 years together. It was so unexpected that I gasped. Then he laid back, got a huge smile on his face, and slept soundly. It was such a good fart that both of us went to sleep,